So her next section, she asks why secularists, or makes this statement, why secularists can't live without secularism, right? So she says, let's practice applying principle 3. All right, so she's going to give us some practice here, right? She's going to give us several examples, and we'll use, she says, secularists' own words and writings as a way to practice them. So the first one she brings to the fore here is Galen Strawson. He's a philosopher who states with great bravado, she tells us, quote, the impossibility of free will can be proved with complete certainty.
Great, good. I'm going home.
Yeah, that ends it, right? Yeah. All right.
He's got the answer.
That's right. Yet, she says in an interview, Strawson admits that in practice, no one accepts his deterministic view.
Well, all right.
To be honest, I can't really accept it myself, he says, right? I can't really live with this fact from day to day. Can you really, right? And so, all right, so this is what you suggest is the way the world is, and yet no one accepts it, you don't accept it, and you can't live by it.
Perfect explanation. Complete certainty.
If humans can't really live with it, she indicates here, the implications of a worldview is that it's reality map, right? It's a reality map to reality. That's the idea. Mm-hmm. So a worldview here is seen as a map of the way the world is, right? And if we can't get around the world, that is, with regard to the worldview, then the map fails, right? If it leads us astray, if it leads us to a place that we didn't want to go, the map is wrong, right? If it shows us things that exist that shouldn't be there, the map is wrong.
Right. Yeah. And you would think about this if Christianity didn't have an origin for evil story. So why are humans like this? And you don't have Genesis 3 or any of the Old Testament. Yeah. Well, you just take another right because what's outside the left side of your window just isn't really there. We're not explaining it. We've torn the map. We've stuck it in the attic where the Goonies can find it.
Of course, you got to be careful because even though you may not believe the building is there, you really don't want to run into it.
Right. Yeah.
She says, moreover, Strawson says that he's not alone, that even cognitive scientists who publish books that they choose to do, I won't say that, and journal articles favoring determinism do not accept it as a workable theory to live by. They may accept it in their white coats, he says, but I'm sure they're just like the rest of us when they're out in the world, convinced of the reality of radical free will. In short, then, their practice, what they actually do, contradicts what they profess, right? They are trapped in what she has now called cognitive dissonance. Right.
Paul's going to call it something else. But and you don't see this in any other type of, experimentation. Galileo doesn't go up to the top of the tower and drop the bowling ball and feather. And, he's not going to stand underneath the bowling ball and then move aside quickly to the feather. He's going to understand that both of them are going to hit inside a vacuum, of course. But his predictions are going to cause him to live in such a way that gravity is a universal constant that goes on us at 9.2 meters per second squared. And does the experimentation outside meet what we see from outside the laboratory? Yes, it does in that case.
Yeah, good. So she says Strawson kind of states this conflict in striking terms, and she quotes him here. Powerful logical or metaphysical reasons for supporting we can't have strong free will keep coming up against equally powerful psychological reasons why we can't help believing that we do have it. It seems that we cannot live or experience our choices as determined, even if determinism is true. Yeah. And so she makes the point, notice the telltale phrases here, that there are ideas we can't help believing, that we cannot live on the basis of contrary ideas, even if we think they're true. When a concept like free will keeps bubbling up, she tells us, right, and inescapably and irresistibly in the minds of someone who disavows it, whose worldview directly denies it, that's a good clue that it is a truth of general revelation that is being suppressed, right? The created order refuses to fit inside the box of an idol-based worldview.
Right.
Right?
Deal with it.
Yeah.
No. Deal with it. No. Deal with it. Get out of here.
Right. And so this is the kind of metaphor that I was trying to explain earlier. She says a worldview is like an internal map that guides us in navigating reality. Because idols defy a part of creation, they produce maps that cover only part of reality. As a result, in the course of ordinary life, humans keep walking off the map. Whoa, right?
The edge of the world.
That's right.
Yeah.
It happens whenever they are compelled, quote, to believe in free will or moral responsibility or anything else not covered by their particular cognitive map. Right? Whenever they cannot, quote, live within the map's cramped borders, that should at least tell them that the map doesn't work, right? It doesn't reflect reality. No one can consistently live on the basis of such a limited worldview map, she tells us.
Yeah, how about that?